This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, so an article come out late last night from Bob Arum, where Bob Arum said that this week he fully expects to be exchanging the first contracts between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Of course, he's talking about the teams himself, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. Now, this is nothing new. For those of you who's been watching my interviews and that lately, you've seen that last week I did an interview with Bob Arum. He said the same thing, that he expects either this week or potentially next week to be exchanging the first contracts. Now, what these first contracts will entail is that, of course, based on all the emails and the conversations that both teams have been having, of course, they've been taking notes. The legal teams will get together. Anthony Joshua's team will send in their version of the contract. Fury will then send in his version of the contract, see exactly where it is that they're meeting, see where they differ, iron out those differences, and then announce the fight. So very, very close. Now, we do know that the only real hold-up point at the minute is the date. We know that they already have agreed on a venue, where that venue is going to be, what country and whatever else. Don't know. There's plenty of different rumours flying around, whether it's in Dubai, whether it be in wherever, in the Far East, wherever, okay? But it's pretty much the date. And the reason that the date is a bit of an issue at the minute, or at least it has been, is because it's not that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are agreeing on a set date. For them, it will make no difference. A week here or a week there is no difference to them, but it's about the broadcasters. So you're talking ESPN for stateside, you're talking DAZN, European and Far East kind of territories, and of course BT Sport and Sky Sports for UK based as well. So that's the hold up, but it's something that they can work out quite easily, I would imagine. In fact, they probably already have since my conversation with Bob Arum last week. So there you have it. Now, as a side note as well, it does look like that this fight looking pretty good for being undisputed as well. There's now reports that Alexander Usyk and Joe Joyce are very, very close to agreeing to be fighting for the WBO interim world heavyweight title. Now, what this will mean is that the winner of Usyk and Joe Joyce will, of course, become interim champion, but then they will then be elevated once the Fury-Joshua first fight happens. So when Fury and Joshua have their fight, of course, the winner will be then crowned as undisputed. The winner will then vacate the WBO and it will be awarded to the winner of Usyk and Joyce. That seems to be the compromise. But of course, yes, it does mean that the rematch between Fury and Joshua will not be for undisputed. Hey ho, it is what it is, okay? For me, I'd rather it be that way than not undisputed at all, if I'm being brutally honest. So that's looking pretty good as well. So hopefully this week, whatever contracts Hearn, Arum and Warren all exchange, hopefully there isn't too much differences. By the sound of it, and I did say to Bob Arum, it does seem to be pretty smooth sailing. He said, yeah, it is. There seems to be no problems. Both sets of fighters want the fight. Both teams want the fight. It's pretty straightforward. So this week they're going to be exchanging the contracts, and I imagine any kind of differences will be quite easily ironed out. What those differences could be anything. Could be like what gloves to use. Should you be using Fly? Should you be using Everlast? Or whatever it may be. Okay, who walks to the ring first? Who walks second as the champion? Who gets billing on the poster? We know that Fury and Warren, they wanted it to be Fury first, Joshua. That's how they want it on the poster. When I mentioned that to Bob Arum last week, he said, well, it's a very simple compromise. Myself, Top Rank, and Frank Warren of Queensbury and BT Sport will promote the fight, of course, with ESPN and that as well, as Fury versus Joshua. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, Sky Sports will promote it as Joshua versus Fury. Pretty simple. So again, that's what it is. So anyway, that is the latest update, that at some point this week, contracts will be exchanged, or at least the first parts of it, which means we're very, very close to the full announcement of Fury versus Joshua, Joshua versus Fury. However, for undisputed, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all in the next video.